everybody. Welcome to another Facebook Live with Jeannie. I'm so sorry I missed yesterday. It was crazy around here, Grand Central Station. We had the lawn service here. I had to bring my pets to the groomer. Oh dear, here's Minnie coming to visit again. You know how that goes. Anyway, I brought them to the groomer and she moved the appointment 45 minutes later, which would have made it tough for me to get back. And I had the plumber here. So, hi Sarah, welcome. I got your stuff in the mail finally. You're going to be so excited to get happy mail, hopefully by the end of the week. I finally got everything, all my mail out yesterday, except for my thank you notes for all my people, which I'm going to work on today. Anyway, I am so excited. This week, actually this month, has been a special with Stampin' Up. A promotion. They've had a buy 3 designer papers, get 1 free. So I was going to use one particular designer paper and I was going to show you a couple of cards with that. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't do anything halfway. I'm going to do it much, much bigger. And what I decided instead was that I was going to make, and I decided this after I moved my Facebook Live to today. So I had a little bit more time to prepare, but my goodness, you're not going to believe what I did. Like I said, I don't do anything halfway. So if you've seen the promotion, it's buy 3 designer papers, get 1 free. And I decided, okay, well, let me show off the designer papers to incentivize, whatever. I want it to be an incentive for you to buy these papers. Everybody has all the papers and they have all the feminine cards that they can possibly use. Lots and lots of flower cards, and most of the papers are geared more towards the ladies because they tend to be the ones that like to give and get cards. So I made myself a deal that I was going to instead do cards with masculine cards instead. And most of the time, and sometimes I have these cards here, most of the time I have a card that's perfect for the lady, and instead I said I'm going to make it for the guys instead because everybody needs guy cards. Hi Gail, welcome. Thanks for watching. Everybody make sure you like and share this video. You never know when you're going to get happy mail because of it. But anyway, I've got all 10 papers here, and it was really down to the wire because I honestly had one of my papers as being Mosaic Mood, which is a specialty paper. It's not part of the special. So I had that all set to show you, and then all of a sudden I realized, oh my goodness, I have to do the Follow Your Art paper because that isn't a specialty paper and that's on the list. So it wasn't my favorite card to start, but wait until you see it. So there's not a whole lot of stamping today. It's mostly showing you these cards. I have a couple of techniques that I want to share with you, or not really techniques, but a couple of things that I want to show, little tips to make your stamping better. But anyway, okay, so what I'm going to do is flip you down and start showing you these cards, because if I show you these cards, and oh, I've got to show you. So this, you're going to see this when you flip down. I had done a designer paper sampler, so I have all the papers here, and that's going to keep me on track for what papers I'm sharing or what cards I'm sharing. Because some of these, you're not even going to believe that it came from that paper. So wait until you see. I'm going to flip you now. Thanks so much for watching. And once again, share, like, and down here is also my September host code. If you place at least a $50 order, I may even do it. If you do the buy 3, get 1 free designer paper as part of your order using this hostess code, I'm going to send you something special. So the deal this week, order using this hostess code, and I'm going to send you something special. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can flip you down. Here we go. Okay, so we are going to start here with the Perennial Essence Designer Series paper. And this actually was a Magnolia paper card. And I have all the stamp sets lined up just in case I want to tell you what stamp set it comes from. But anyway, this was the Magnolia card. And it's a very feminine card, and I just love the layout. But I decided, okay, so I'm going to use the Perennial Essence. What can I do? So I hope you can see this. I use Seaside Notions for this one. So it's the same layout exactly, but it's much more masculine looking. I have done two things. You can't really see it. I stamped with Versamark one of the, it's probably coral as part of the Seaside Notions. Maybe you can see it a little bit. I probably should have stamped off with the pool party. When I stamped on, you couldn't see the Thinking of You because it was too bright. But anyway, so I just watercolored these, hand cut them. Unfortunately, there's no dies for them. But if you can see it, it's this paper right here. So it looks very masculine. Gonna be perfect. The reason I did a Thinking of You card, by the way, is because I had done about 7 birthday cards. I'm like, oh my goodness, you also send cards when people aren't feeling well, when you want to thank them, when you're thinking of them. So I did have to change them up a little. And this one said Thinking of You, so I did it the same, Thinking of You here. So that's that one. The Perennial Essence Designer Series paper. I'm gonna pull over a chair and pile these up. They're probably all gonna end up on the floor. Okay, this one was my challenge, my big challenge, but I'm really proud of it, and it may end up being my husband's birthday card. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Bob. He's not on Facebook, so nobody can tell him, and I actually let the cat out of the bag and told some of his coworkers because I think he would keep it a great big secret if I didn't. So this was my challenging paper because if you notice, there aren't a whole lot of guys. I'm not saying there aren't, but there aren't a whole lot of guys that enjoy crafting as much as us ladies. So I'm looking at this paper, and I'd already kind of done a card with this one, which you'll see. So I decided instead, what am I going to do? So I started out with this layout. Great card. It changed a little bit, but anyway, so this is what I ended up with. So you can see it's this paper, and I cut out the gears with the die, did a little bit of soft suede. I stamped those off so that the dust cloud wouldn't be too big, but if I had been smart, I would have stamped this with the Stamparatus, so I could have re-stamped it. I kind of went over it with a marker, but you can't, it's not as great. I will go over it again, but because of the yellow, some of those letters got a little lost in it. So anyway, this is a great card, I think, considering it's from this paper. Still not my favorite, and if you're wondering where I got the card color combination from, we have on the website, I believe we have a color combination, like a chart, almost a helpful guide for putting colors together. And soft suede, shaded spruce, and crushed curry were all together. And I said, okay, I'm going with it. I don't know what else to do. So anyway, that's that card. Follow your art. Okay, I can't see your comments. I hope you're loving these cards, but I can't see your comments. So just to let you know, I'm not ignoring you, but because I'm flipped down, I can't see them anymore. I love this card. This paper is so beautiful. I had so much fun. I honestly don't have anything that I'm copying this from. But I really like this card. So this is that paper right there. It almost looks like our old Brusho, but it's already done for me. Yay, because I wasn't great at the Brusho, mixing and matching, and my greens always looked really brown. But anyway, I used, let me look at the stamp set here. I believe it was Sea of Textures. Looks like I put some of these away already. It was Sea of Textures. Oh yes, there it is. So I used the dies from that and just had fun kind of pulling out some of the colors. I kind of thought maybe there's a little crumb cake in there. It's hard to see. I maybe could have put some yellow instead, but I couldn't figure out what yellow I wanted to use. So anyway, another card I love. And I was showing this to my daughter, and she said, you know, if you weren't doing a guy card, if you flipped it, you could almost put a mermaid right here, a nice sparkly mermaid. So I may make more of these, but I love this. And this is the Sea Silhouette Designer Series paper. This one, there are quite a few patterns that could be used for guys, but that's not common with most of the designer papers that I'm showing you today. Okay, so that's that. Next, this actually was a swap card, and I wanted to show you this card because it is a great card. The Come Sail Away, another great suite, great for guys. And I had so much fun. When I did my sampler a couple of months ago, I also made some matching cards. And I had such great fun making the cards. but you've already seen them. So I had pulled out a swap card, and what I wanted to share is, look at this. These are just 1-inch strips. There are times when you have 1-inch strips left, maybe even 3/4 or a 1/2 inch, and you do more, but all she did was layer these on the paper, and you've used your scraps. So I love this. Beautiful, beautiful. So I wanted to show you, that's the Come Sail Away Designer Series paper. Next, oh, this one I actually had a lot of fun with, the Magnolia Lane Designer Series paper. You guys probably know which one I'm going to choose, but it's really hard to use this paper because it's a lot of flowers. And even this to me looks like wallpaper. I can remember it from when I was growing up. In guest room houses that I went to, they had this wallpaper, and I just thought, oh my goodness, it's so elegant. But anyway, I ended up copying this card, a very feminine pink card. I love this card, by the way. I have so much Magnolia paper, I plan to duplicate this card over and over, because between the ribbon and the petal pink and the, oh, just love it. Anyway, so let me show you the card I made. Now look at this. This actually, I don't know if it's this one. It might be this one, that paper that's on the pattern that's on the back of that. I think it is, but it's the same stamp set. And actually, this whole stamp set was a very feminine set. Let me see if I can pull it here. Everything's gonna topple on me. This is not the Good Morning Magnolia stamp set that I used for the sentiment, by the way. Well, there they went. It's the Magnolia Blooms. And I don't know if you remember or are aware, but this is from the beginner brochure. There are a couple of stamp sets specific to the beginner brochure that you are not going to see in the catalog. And although it doesn't have dies, it's a really, really, really beautiful set, and I love the sentiments there too. So when you are sick of Magnolia Blooms, you can also use a smaller Magnolia here, and it's really beautiful. So ask me about the beginner brochure if you don't have it or haven't seen it, and this is one of the stamp sets. So Magnolia Lane Designer Series paper. Okay. Next, this one, again, I had a little trouble with this, and then I found some swap cards, and I said, oh my goodness, I should have used the swap cards to start with. The Bird Ballad paper. Hard paper to use for guys. I was thinking something with this, but I didn't. Actually, I think those birds are flying upside down the way I pasted it on, but so I apologize. That's probably not how they fly. They don't fly like that, they fly like that. Anyway, I had a package of the new elements that came with the Come Together suite, and it's the feather. And I just used the feather paper, and I just used a little bit of linen thread. Actually, this isn't the linen thread. This is the Nature's Way. It's the part of the thread or cord that goes in the Nature suite in the annual catalog. It also comes, I think it's still carried through. There was like a green color and the, not the Calypso Coral. Anyway, I'm going blank because I'm trying to think of it. And I'm not going to. So anyway, I used a punch just to stamp this out. And then I punched it again in the Balmy Blue, cut it in half, and just kind of pulled it aside and kind of put dimensionals under there. So just a nice, simple, easy birthday card. I do want to show you two other cards, though, that I found in my stash that are great cards, great masculine cards. This one, I really love it. They use the corrugated folder, and isn't that beautiful, too? That's very masculine as well. And here's another one. I think even this one would be beautiful for a guy. It's not very feminine to me, so I like this one as well. So, a couple more ideas using the Bird Ballad paper. Okay, I did a swap a couple of months ago using the Garden Lane paper. And this is where I'm going to show you a tip. I have to show you something with this. Anyway, this is another paper, kind of floral. As you can guess, I used this green paper for mine. When I did my swap originally, I used this paper. I just love that color. Or that paper. It almost reminds me of hydrangeas, even though it's not the right color. This is almost like a fancy fold card. So I don't remember what, oh, this is from the Rooted in Nature, the dies that match the Rooted in Nature set. I embossed and then I cut them out. So I put them under there. Two things I have to tell you about this card. The first thing is, so this is my fancy fold. So you can see I cut off, I believe this is 3 1/4, so I probably cut off 1 inch off of this side. And then I layered and matted and put that underneath. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you, and then I took a little strip and put that on the inside. So you almost have to assemble the inside and the outside together at the same time. But okay, here's the 2 tips that I'm going to tell you. Learn from my mistake. First of all, the dimensionals on here, this is not going to fly. You can't do that because your card's going to be stuck closed. I am going to have to figure out a way to get that off or move it or whatever, because even though I am going to do something to make it not sticky, I could use my embossing buddy, and with the cornstarch in there, I'd get rid of the stick. I'm still not going to like that I see it, so I'll probably have to figure out something and kind of pull this off. Okay, but this is the first tip I'm going to show you. The second tip is, I don't remember what stamp set this is from. I'm looking through my sets. I'm so sorry. It might be Winter Woods, or it's one of those. It might be Rooted in Nature as well, now that I think about it. This is the Celebrate, and who knows what that says. So this, again, I'm going to tell you the tip for this, and I'm going to use this pad because this is the only one I have here right now, because I'm going to show you another technique in a second. But see how muddy that is? You can't possibly read it. You can't, because you definitely can if I can't. So I'm going to show you. I showed this one other time, and this works really well with a lot of the detailed stamps, not necessarily the distinctive stamps, but the stamps with a lot of detail. You want to see the branches, like one of the trees, it looks very realistic from the plaid stamp set that's in the mini catalog now. And this was taught to me by Celine. You're going to, I'm not going to do it for real because it'll make a mess here, but you're going to take your bone folder and you're going to push the ink and pull the ink just out of the center. And that's going to leave less ink, because the reason this is there is because there's so much ink on there. So you're going to, with that ink pulled out of the center, ta-da, that's what happened when I did it again. So you can read, Celebrate Another Wonderful Year. And before I lose it, let me just stick it with my glue so I don't lose that and have to stamp it again after all that. Ta-da! There's my card. So I'll have to, like I said, I'll have to figure out what to do about this, and I will. But this is the Garden Lane paper. Okay, you must wonder, what in the world am I going to do with Dynaroar paper? It is a kid's paper, perfect for kids actually, and I want to do something with it that looks like guys. So for me, the only 2 stamp sets, even this, even though the colors are right, they're not going to want dinosaurs on their card unless they're a grown-up kid. So what I did was, I was thinking this one, I think I did a lot of swaps with this one, so I had a lot of this paper here. So this was the Mosaic Mood paper, and this is what I was going to show you, but of course Mosaic Mood is not part of the deal, so I couldn't use that. But look at how simple this layout is, and it's perfect for a lady, a girl, you know, not a guy, right? With the pink flowers and whatever. I did the same thing. Look at this, and look at how guy-like it looks. So this used the Tropical Chic stamp set with the matching dies to cut that out. I just pulled out the same colors from the designer paper. This is stamped in Old Olive, and this is from the Healing Hugs stamp set. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because, Kathy, I promise you today I'm giving you that stamp set when I give you your box. So you are getting that stamp set back. I feel like I've had it for 6 weeks and monopolized it, but I wanted to use it once more because guys get sick too. So what a perfect card. I actually really love this card. But I love this card. I love this one more. So this is the Dyna-Roar paper. And Kathy, thank you again for your stamp set. Okay, woven threads. This was the card that I started with. It was a swap that I got. I really love it. But it's pink, the Rococo Rose. And guys are not usually into Rococo Rose. So I did exactly the same paper set, but instead I used the terracotta tile. And this is what I did instead. I just kind of stamped with the Night of Navy on that. I actually stamped off the clouds with the Night of Navy. Terracotta tile. I had tried filling them in with it. It was just too busy. So here's my terracotta tile stamp. And it could be good for a lady, but it's going to be perfect for a guy as well. So maybe going to my father-in-law because I also have to get his card out this week because his birthday is like 5 days later than Bob's. So that's the woven threads paper. That leaves us just one paper left. And I have to show you this beautiful swap card I got. I used the Press Petals specialty paper. The reason I saved this for last is because I have one very big tip. If you are using this host code, you're buying 3 papers and you're getting 1 free. This is on the specialty deal. So suppose you want to get a package of the, I'm sorry, excuse me, the woven threads paper, a package of the Come Sail Away paper, and what other paper could we get? The Magnolia Lane. Let's go. Oh no, the Sia Silhouette paper. We're going to do that. So all those paper packs are $11.50. This one is $14.50. Choose your $11.50 packs. Put this one in as your free. It'll work. It did. I'm telling you. So you could also buy 4 packs of this, but make sure when you're putting it in, you're doing 3 and then 1. If you do 4, they're not going to give you the 4th one as free. You have to. It'll pop up as an extra that you can do for free. But if you enter 4 of the same pack, it's not going to give you 4 free. Does that make sense? I'm hoping. But anyway, so do this as your 4th package and do it as free. So this is going to be great for Christmas. A lot of these, I love these papers. And in fact, I used this paper, and it might be that one on the back. No, this one is that one on the back. And that one is, I don't remember. It's something that's more green. But anyway, these papers are really, really lovely papers. So I got this beautiful Thanksgiving card. Love it. And it's the Come Together paper. It's so beautiful. Just absolutely. I have to make this just to in fact, I'm buying the Come Together paper just for this card. Be careful though. It's not on your promotion right now. So you can certainly buy it, buy all you want, but that's not going to count towards your buy 3, get 1 free. I have to look what this is from because I forgot to check it out before I went down. But this is another, you've got the die, you've got your wishes here. I'm going to show you what I did. I just changed it up a little bit. It's still a great fall card. And I'm going to show you a little technique that I learned the other night. So it's not as pretty as this one, but it is still a nice card. So we've got this one. I did this one right here. I should have brought birthday over, and I still may peel it back up and try to do that. But these are the 2 papers, like I said. And then I die cut birthday out of the Well Wishes stamp set with matching dies. So that's the stamp set, that's the dies. This is Cherry Cobbler that I put together with this. Then this is the Harvest Hellos. Yes, the Harvest Hellos stamp set with the matching apple and pumpkin punch. You may think you don't need it, You need it, let me tell you. Oh my goodness, you've got special teachers, you can do it. Halloween, it's got a great jack-o'-lantern in there. It's got just the happiest little sentiments in there. And then it punches out and you've got the matching flowers and stem. So that's all that is. Now, for the technique that I want to show you, I learned this the other night from Ruth. Thank you, Ruth, for teaching our fabulous class. We learned the faux chalk technique. And this was the easiest one, and this actually wasn't one of the cards that we made. She just showed this is one other option of something you can do. You're going to use your white craft ink and a sponge dauber, and all you're going to do is, after you've embossed, and I used the folder, can't remember, sorry, it's gone, but anyway, you're just going to put this on and just pull out. You're just going to pull out over the, see, I'm making it a little bit more white. Oh, shouldn't do that when it's already on the card. But anyway, you're just going to lightly, with the crafting, pull out the raised areas of the embossing. So she taught us so much stuff, I can't even tell you, but I wanted to at least use one card because this is perfect for the guy, and show you this. Actually, wait 2 seconds. My cards aren't great. I'm gonna show you the other cards we made in the class. Hang on 1 second. While I'm running, it's right there on the other table. Write down this host code so you can get your surprise in the mail from me. So use that host code and either do the designer paper, buy 3, get 1 free, or any $50 order, and I'm gonna send you something. Okay, let me just show you these cards very quickly, and we used a couple of different techniques. This one, we used pencils, great little Halloween card. Just use pencils to just pull out a little bit extra on the stamp. So this was the easiest card to do, of course, because you're just using pencils. This is all part of the faux chalk. This one, love this, embossed in the copper, and then we watercolored. We used, my aqua painter's on the other table, but with the white craft ink, we watercolored the flowers within the embossing, the copper embossing, and then we just used a sponge dauber with the Rococo Rose just to add a little bit of color. This could use a little bit more color, but isn't that a pretty card? So that's with the watercolor, and my other card here is, okay, this one. I had a hard time with where to put the ribbon, and everybody said just stick it. So that's where it is actually. That's what we did. We used the Magnolia folder, used the blender pen to pick up ink and just kind of lightly color the raised areas of this. And then we did the sponge daubers to bring out some color. So that's that. Is that all of the cards? Oh yes, one more card to show you. And this is the snow front. And we used a little bit of the, I think this was the blender pen, just a tiny bit to the snowman, to the roof. This was actually stamped over with a separate stamp from the snow front stamp set. Both of we stamped this first in the soft suede, maybe it was supposed to be crumb cake, but first in that, then in the Whisper White craft ink. Same for this one. And the mountains was a separate stamp in between. No, that's where we used the blender pen and just kind of filled in the gaps. But anyway, isn't that so beautiful? That's a good reason to buy that stamp set if you need to figure out how to get to the 50 on your order. But so I'm going to flip back. I am so glad you joined me today. I hope you love the cards. I'm going to have to add them to both my group and to my page so you can see all of them. I hope you had fun seeing the ideas, and I hope it expands what you think about these papers. It's not just for the girls. I mean, some of this paper, like this pressed petals, I would probably do that for the ladies. And in fact, I probably love, this is probably my favorite one right here, the with the blue. I just love that blue. It's so vivid. But anyway, but I want you to see that there are other options with this, and there's so many cards you can do, and hopefully I gave you some ideas. Hopefully you join me next week. I have to go back to the holiday catalog next week, but I wanted to make sure you knew about the promotion and that you also have fun with this paper. So love you guys. See you next week. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. Keep stamping. And I'll see you next week, Wednesday at 11. Bye.